Hi everybody, it's Joe again from Acklam Car Centre and you're watching another episode with On the Road with Acklam Cars. And today I'm in the beautiful brand new model Tesla Model Y, the long range version. Now this is a 72 registration with literally delivery miles on. Now the Model Y for me, for everybody I'm sure, is the crossover electric car. We all know about the Model 3 and we all know about the Model X. Now this is like the Model 3, just slightly bigger. Bigger being more practical, but the biggest difference for me is with it being the crossover, you get a lot more ground clearance, you're sat higher up, the visibility is brilliant, like all Teslas to be fair, and it's just a cracking car. It's a very capable car on the road and off the road. Now this being a long range version, you're getting approximately 330 miles range, which is phenomenal. There's two motors, so it's a dual motor. There's a motor in the front and a motor in the back, which makes the car all-wheel drive. And I just find it a very spacious car. So I know customers who've had the Model 3 and thought, you know what, I want something slightly bigger boot, maybe a bit higher and a bit more space in the cab. And then I've seen customers buy the Model X and go, it's a little bit too big. So this one is absolutely on point if you're wanting that size vehicle. Price range is absolutely awesome as well. Unlike the Model X's, which are, in my opinion, quite a lot of money, this one sits just right. Now this is also a very quick car because Tesla don't really build a slow car. You're talking the long range version like this one, 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. That's pretty quick for a family car, because remember, that's what this is. It's a family car. It's not a sports car. It's a family electric car, full electric. Now, Tesla do things a bit different to everyone else. Everything is very, very simple. It's minimalistic. The design features, exterior and interior, for me, works extremely well. Now, like I said, 4.8 seconds, nearly 330 miles range. The Tesla have one of the best charging stations and capabilities, so this one can be used on a supercharger and a normal charger. And the superchargers, it charges really, really quick, like 75-mile range in 5 minutes. That's sort of quick. It doesn't get any better. Now, this one's in pearl white. It's going live now. It's physical. It's available. You also get the benefit of the government grant incentive scheme of buying a new electric car, because this falls under that category. We will attach another link for that if you want to do a bit more reading on it. So there is other benefits of buying a new, nearly new electric car. And like I said, that benefit is valid until March 2023. So do your homework. If you're looking for an electric car, a new one like this one, then you will benefit from that. Massive savings. Pearl white on the outside looks fabulous. This one has been fully de-chromed, so it has the black styling on it with a matte finish. That includes the bumper sections, the corner sections of the ring where the camera's attached to it, the door surrounds and the door handles. Now the pearl white is a beautiful white. It looks superb. On the front you have the LED style daytime running lights. You've also got the LED headlights as well. Now obviously it's an electric car, so aerodynamically everything is smoothed off, so it works very, very well. And the air just flows around and underneath it, pushing it on. Being the crossover electric car, you'll notice from the Model Y, from the Model 3 to this one, on the arches you've got like that arch kit, that moulded effect on it, because you can go off-road in muds and sort of gravel and stuff and not really scratch or chip the underside of the arches, so that's what that's designed for. You'll also notice the elevation, the sort of ground clearance being a crossover from the wheels, from the ground. It's just you got a bit more space, so you can actually take it off-road. And it's really good off-road. Now this one's got 19-inch alloy wheels, which for me do a cracking job because I think it's just right. I know you can get 20s, and on the top of the range one, you can get 21-inch wheels. I do think sometimes that'll change the ride, the comfort certainly out the window, and then road noise. I think this one's just about right. It feels comfortable and there is no road noise whatsoever. Now you have got frameless doors, so when you open the doors, you'll see the door handles are very, very flush. Now to open the door or unlock it, you tap the key card on the B pillar, get one of them, it locks and unlocks, and then you get yourself in there. The rear doors, when you go to open them, when you press it, it actually electronically releases the door, so you can just pull the door open with your hand, which is pretty clever. As you get to the back of the car, you'll notice that lovely sloping effect. So although this car is a hatchback, massive benefit by the way, it is a hatchback, but it's got a sloping effect on the back with that ducktail little flick on the end. But but it has that coupe lines. But with it being the hatchback, it's got a massive boot. I mean, a huge boot. The seats go down, obviously, but then you have compartments. The first compartment closest to the back of the seat is a cubby hole to put the charging cables, the wires, etc. But then closer to the actual boot itself, boot lid, you've got a compartment which lifts up, and it's quite a large area. It genuinely, if you look at it, you can get lots in there. Colour-coded rear bumpers, you've got front rear parking sensors, and then you have the camera system. This is a Tesla, it's full of radars, it's full of sensors, and it needs to, because it's constantly monitoring vehicles around you, pedestrians, and all that kind of funky stuff. So it's got lots of cameras and radars all the way around. Like I said, the boot space is massive. The back seats do go down electronically. All you gotta do is press the buttons in the boot, and then they'll go down. Dead easy. Now, as you get into the driver's side of the car, you'll notice Tesla has that signature, very simple interior. You've got the huge 15-inch infotainment screen here, which literally controls the full car. Because as you can see on this dashboard, there's nothing else here. There's no instrument panel, there's no other second screens, there's no dials, there's no buttons. Everything is controlled from this massive screen. And I mean everything. And that's not a bad thing. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, it'll take you about a week to get used to it, because there's that much on it. It's clever, but it's like an iPad, it's like a tablet. It's just playing with it, you can't break it. Worst case scenario, you reset it all, but playing with it will just teach you and you'll learn new quirky things. Now this one's got the full black leather interior, but may I just tell you, I use the word leather. It's obviously certainly feels like leather. There isn't an inch of leather in this car. This car and the full interior is completely animal free. So if you're a vegan or just you don't like leather, so it has all the looks and feels of a leather, but it's absolutely animal free. The full car, obviously interior. Now this being the black interior comes with the wood trim, which I think is subtle and looks just very classy. It works extremely well. If you'd picked the one with a white interior, it comes with a white finish here, but I think the black with the wood trim looks good, extremely good. Just down below the tablet here, you've got a double wireless charging pad here, which is brilliant, so you can charge your phone and so can the passenger. Twin cup holders, lots of cubby hole. You've then got the center armrest, which lifts up. And then if you look at the space in this car, lots of leg room, lots of headroom. You've got electric seats, you can adjust all that to get the most comfortable ride. The rear passengers have ample amount of space, and the rear seats do recline ever so slightly. But because there's no sort of transmission train down the middle, if you look at the rear passenger section, the person sat in the middle gets a very comfortable ride. Because most vehicles which aren't electric, they do have a transmission train right down the middle, and the middle passenger, bless them, don't really get the best ride because the legs are skew whiffed. It's up here somewhere, knees into your chin, and you can't really do much with it. But this electric car hasn't got that problem. Amazing. But even in the back, because you've got the glass roof, you naturally think you're going to lose a little bit of headspace. Well, you don't, because the Model Y, the way it's shaped, it gives you tons of space. Now, Tesla also do one of the best, in my opinion, panoramic glass roofs, because it starts here and it doesn't finish. Literally, it goes all the way back. All the way back. And it's brilliant because it brings loads of light in. It's almost joining the outside with the inside. That's what it feels like. You're in a glass bubble, and it feels brilliant. Genuinely. Now remember the Tesla Y, like this one, there's a few neat things. First of all, it's electric, so you're saving fortunes on running cost. It's very quick. The range is very impressive. I can think of another half a dozen crossover SUVs that are out there, which I also think are cracking cars, but I wouldn't pick it over a Tesla for many reasons, because I think the design on the Tesla is brilliant. I think the power is unbelievable, and I just like Teslas. But there's a few. There's a Ford version, you've got the Skoda version, there's the Hyundai Ioniq, which I do personally think is a cracking car, by the way. But it's a Tesla. The gadget and gizmos that they give you, the charging for me is very important, because when you're buying an electric car, you want the charging to be right. You want it to be able to charge itself rapidly. And this does that. And it's quick. But Teslas are quick, frightening quick. Imagine you and your family, 5 years in the car, the kids in the back, and you put your foot down. It's like a rally car, this, genuinely. Because it's raised, you can go off-road and go fast in it as well. It's just It gives a different buzz. Going back to the infotainment, it's got everything, literally everything. Heated steering wheel, you've got heated seats, front passenger, obviously driver, and rear passengers. That's a nice feature. You've got electric steering adjustment. You can see from what's going on here, there's always picking up radars and cars and cones. It picks up everything. All the electric adjustments for the mirrors, steering, everything's on there. But then you have things like Netflix, YouTube, Spotify. You have all that, literally. Different home screens, savers when you're parked up. Arcade mode is brilliant. If you're ever sat outside while your better half is shopping and you don't want to be walking about, you just sit on here and play on games. It's, don't get me wrong, it's gimmicky, but it kills time and it is quite funny. Obviously digital radio, you got navigation. Now this has Wi-Fi updates. So like most cars, this is like a phone, literally. It updates itself. You know, every time when you update out, you do its thing and then it updates itself, which is fabulous, really. There's all your camera systems, one behind me, two in the corner, so I can see exactly what's on each side of me. And that's brilliant. I just think the car does everything. You know, one thing I did notice on this car, and at low speed, I didn't mind it so much. At high speed, I think you have to get used to it. It's got a very fast steering. It's very sharp. You only have to touch it and it darts. As in, at low speed, it's really good for parking, for manoeuvre around towns, villages, perfect. You're ducking and diving. But I think at high speed, you have to get used to it. But I don't mind it. I'd rather have a sharp steering wheel than have one that doesn't react. The biggest thing you have to get used to on this Model Y, and I've driven cars before that have that system, so I don't mind it. I can get used to it quite quickly, but it's just, if you haven't driven one, it will take you a few days. So the normal car, conventional petrol, diesel, even a hybrid vehicle, you're driving, you're accelerating, you're doing 50 miles an hour, whatever it is. When you let go of the acceleration, you naturally expect the car to coast. You know, just slowly come to 40, 30 and halt. Now with the brake regeneration in this car, when you let go of the acceleration, it's quite harsh. It brakes for you. For the brake regeneration, it brakes. So if I'm doing 53 and I let go, it slows me down. The brake lights come on and it slows me down. So the point I'm making is in this car, it's almost a case of accelerating at all times, just releasing the throttle ever so, it's feathering with the throttle pedal to slow down and speed up. Because once you let go of the throttle pedal, it brakes. Like literally brakes as if you want to come to a halt. Which is not a bad thing, because it's saving energy and that brake regeneration, but you have to get used to it a little bit. I love the size, I love the comfort. I think the soundproof is really, really good in this. And the gadget and gizmos are unbelievable. You've got adaptive cruise control, so you have all the features you need in any given car. I love the minimalistic look, the fact that it's animal free. A lot of people would like that. There's lots of space, the pockets and the door cards is brilliant. But remember what it is. It's a crossover SUV, which is very family friendly, lots of space for everybody, but you're getting the returns of the electric range, you're getting the power, and it charges super, super quick. So there is no negatives. If I'm to add one more benefit on this particular car, I've had many Teslas and I've liked them all to an extent. If I was to criticise Tesla for its previous products, I did think that the gaps on the sort of the doors and the bonnet and the boot were a little bit all over. Not this one. I've had a good inspection of this one. And the design's always been there. But the build, sometimes you thought, you know what, Tesla do a cracking job designing, but the building side of stuff, they could have just took a bit more time and got the lines right. Because sometimes the lines were a little bit off here and there. This one hasn't got that issue. All the lines are absolutely perfect. So for me, it's a thumbs up. I think if in the market for an electric SUV or an electric car with a boot space, an electric car that charges quick and that looks cool and is made by Tesla, then this is the one. Because it is a brilliant car. I can't knock it. I think it does everything you're supposed to do in a good price range. One last thing, try ordering a Model Y. See what response you get. They're impossible to get. Physically impossible to get. Now we're quite lucky, we happen to have two of the identical vehicles in pearl white with delivery miles on a 72 registration, going live with a live pricing. Cracking opportunity to get yourself in an electric car at a correct price point. But guys, you won't be disappointed. You'll love it as a matter of fact. We do take part exchanges. We do the best finance packages available. So get in touch with myself or one of the guys at the Acklam team. But more importantly, like and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Bye bye now.